Hello everybody, this is your favorite internet celebrity, Svetlana speaking. How are you? How are you? I'm just kidding, this is Weebo. What the fuck do you want? Just kidding. Okay, so this is the first of the live Patreon / Maker Support Hangouts, and as you can see, absolutely no one has showed up yet, but that's okay. We can still party like it's 1987. No worries. I can improvise. Speaking of improvisation, I actually have a whole bunch of links that we can totally look at if you guys want to. So really, it's up to you, chat. You are driving this train into whatever it is that you want to drive it into. I am taking requests at this moment. Later on, when people decide to join or have a chance to join, they can join up as much as they want. It's totally up to them, their prerogative. This is kind of just an open hangout, essentially, for them. So I have various stories here that we can go into, just because I knew that this was going to happen. So I decided to have a contingency plan, as always, as usual, because I am that type of a person. So we have why Anakin Skywalker should have been removed from the Jedi Order for sexual harassment. We have YouTube quarantines Martin Luther King Jr. video as supremacist, and we have Linda Sarsour accused of enabling sexual assault against women who worked for her. We have 3 options, 1, 2, and 3 in their respective order. What would you guys like to do? Please and thank. Vote in the chat, 1, 2, or 3, depending on your preference. Until then, until we've decided, I guess I'll just talk out of my ass for the remainder of the time that I'm waiting. Just totally fine. I'm used to that. I do it all the time. I'm used to talking to myself. Did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. It's okay. It's okay, weebs. 1987. Hello, Fendran. I'll go get my Zumbas. 1488. What happened in 1488? Was there anything interesting going on? And then let's see who's in the chat. Okay, so we have Ranting Monkey who's telling me to hurry it up. God damn it. Well, I'm here. There you go. Curtis Klein. Was it really less than 4 minutes till you began? I don't know about that. Is that what beginning looks like? Yes. Your boy Pat's in the chat. What's up, weebs? Not much. I'm just kind of hanging out. Chilling. By myself. This reminds me so much of elementary school, honestly. Yes, I know that sounds pathetic, but that's just the way things were back then. I'm here for the midget strippers. Well, I'm afraid that they're going to be late as well. Oh, darn. Show feet? Seriously? Seriously? I've been waiting for so long for someone with a foot fetish to come along and discover my channel. It's finally happened. Oh, boy. I do take questions, Darwin Nathaniel. And I honestly, I answer most questions. So I'm only getting like 2s in the chat. Sup, Wyofet. Hey, dude, 77. How are you? How are you? Main Gun 07. Hello. Okay, so we're gonna do number 2. We're gonna do a number 2. Cause that's just what we do. And I realize how that sounds, and I realize that I don't care. And we're going to be screen sharing this, because I know you don't want to just look at my face the whole time. There we go. Excuse me. YouTube quarantines Martin Luther King Jr. video as supremacist by Ian Miles Chong. I follow him on Twitter. Hi, Scribe. How are you? You're the other Scribe, right? Not the Scribe who has weird kinky fetishes, right? Oh, that's unfortunate. Never silence a black man. That's racist, guys. YouTube restricted access to a video produced by the Capital Research Center, apparently for promoting Martin Luther King Jr.'s dangerous ideas on equality. Naughty, naughty, naughty. The platform's new content guidelines are taking their toll on content creators, flagging otherwise innocuous videos as dangerous. And it's impossible to tell if the video was automatically flagged by the system or if the moderator made the call. Last week, Joseph Klein produced a video called Right Wing or Left Wing? Identity Politics is Destroying America for Capital Research Center, an American conservative think tank. Klein describes the 3-minute video as a critique of the identity politics driven liberals and conservatives, even driving liberals and conservatives even further apart. I have to burp, but it's not happening. Oh, darn. Chat, what do you think so far? Should I continue? Is this interesting? Is this piquing your interest? Because I could comment on it all the live long day. And I will, if I need to. But I just want to make sure that you are entertained. And I would insert a meme here. Are you not entertained? If I had the kind of shenanigans in software. But I do not. Oh, darn. I am scribe of Morskar, the abused servant of Magog. Oh, darn. I'm so sorry. That's nice, though. Weebo is always entertaining. Oh, thank you, Sam Chorus. I try. So, let's continue on with this. Klein makes the same case Martin Luther King Jr. did in his famous speech about judging people not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Always, always a good principle to hold, honestly. Because, let's be real, skin color, as much as they like to say that it can't change, it definitely can. I mean, have you seen a Michael Jackson in his... Well, he's dead now, but before he died, he was as white as a motherfucker. And previously, he had not been. Granted, I'm pretty sure there was some sort of genetic disease behind that made the skin lose its pigment gradually over time, but, like, I mean, come on. We have people who can bleach skin. We have people who can change their race identity on paper in the U.S. Census every 10 years. I mean, let's be real. Wasn't there that one story of that one guy who changed his race from Indian, or not Indian, but his heritage from, like, Indian to African American on a college application, and he got in with the African American heritage rather than the Indian heritage. Didn't that happen? I remember that. I think it was like Cindy What's-Her-Face's brother this happened to. Is this going to be a regular thing? Darwin Nathaniel asks. And what the hell is this exactly? And so I finally got your name, Weebo. Yes, my name is pronounced Weebo. Weebo. Which I realize is going to take some practice. And not everyone is comfortable with saying it. I've just found this out. But that's okay. That's fine. You can call me Miss Jones if you wish. That's cool too. But this is basically a once a month type thing that I'm going to do, I think, with the rest of my supporters on Maker and Patreon. So that'll be a thing, but that'll be a thing once a month. I do have a weekly Saturday show that I have not done in 2 weeks because I've been traveling and planning and partying with my family for the last 2 weeks. So that'll be a thing, not this weekend, but next weekend and all following weekends. Saturday night from 10 o'clock to 10 o'clock to midnight Central Time. Yes, Curtis Klein. Weebo with an H. So what we're talking about. Yes, the article thingy right here. Where did I leave off? Shortly after uploading it, YouTube placed the video in limited content mode, blocking it from view in the United Kingdom and 27 other countries. What the fuck? What the fuck? In the United States and other countries where the video is still partially available, it was locked behind a warning message requiring users to sign in. According to Klein, his video was twice given a manual review and confirmed to contain inflammatory, religious, and supremacist content. It was quietly reinstated after Fox News reached out to YouTube to inquire about the issue. Google claimed that the restriction was in error, which is unlikely given the prior manual reviews. The video is watchable on Facebook. Here's the thing. So the YouTube algorithm is still learning. I will admit this. But when they say that they've manually reviewed a video, I actually don't think that they've actually done that. Because I've had experiences in my time on YouTube where they've said that they've manually reviewed a video, and it's completely impossible that they've manually reviewed a video from the time that I actually made the upload or made the request to have it checked, and the time that it's been manually reviewed, quote unquote. So I don't think it's an actual or at least most of the time or all of the time. I don't think it's all of the time an actual system that they go through where they actually look at the video all the way through. I think that it's also an automated thing in some sense of the word. But that's just my opinion, and I'm going off of very slim evidence here. Basically my own experiences, as well as say what I've heard from other people, other YouTubers. But it's funny that we're talking about we were talking about the skin color changing thing, because I actually mentioned that in my newest video that's coming on Sunday, so that's going to be a fun thing. Your boy Pat, me and Ms. Jones, we got a thing going on. Oh, we do? I was unaware of this. Let me know so that I can bring chocolate in the next time we have a thing going on. Oh, attack alpaca. We bow to Weebo. That means a lot coming from an alpaca, because aren't they hard to please? If MLK was alive today, he'd be labeled as alt-right. Honestly, he would, and I think it has to do, a lot of what I think has to do with this whole identity politics debauchery that's been going on for the past however many years it's been going on. Honestly, it feels like it's been going on for the past, what, 4 years or so? I don't know, the years tend to blend together. But honestly, the reason why it's gotten so out of hand is because there's no, like, singular leader that we look up to that, you know, people can look at as if, you know, they're an example to live by and learn from, almost. I mean, we just in feminism alone, there are like, what, 80 different versions that you can subscribe to. Like, okay, so there's positive sex positive feminism, there's sex negative feminism, there's TERFs. I mean, there's intersectional feminism, there's classical feminism, there's suffragist feminism. There's just 8 bajillion different types of feminism, and no one has like a singular leader to, you know, kind of follow in a sense. There's no leadership, and that's the issue, because with leaderships comes a form of structure in a sense. Of course, in the event that there's a leader, you'd have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You'd have to, sorry, I am having such brain troubles tonight. In the event that there is a leader, you have to ensure that that leader is leading by the right principles, that that leader is, you know, in a sense, the right type of leader. Now, how do you figure out who the right type of leader is? Fuck if I know. I think it's different for every person. There are different types of leaderships. Am I looking for a leader, Garrett Marks? No, I'm not. I don't tend to take orders very well. That's part of the reason why I didn't go into the Marines at all. That's part of the reason. The other part was I think that I can do more good with more education than I would be able to, you know, taking orders from someone, just in general. Because I have one of those really independent minds that just does its own thing and doesn't do well under the instruction or the, like, mandate of another person's mind. It just, I don't want to be a leader, but I also don't want anyone to lead me. I'm a very independent type person. That's how I was raised to be, and that's how I am. Monkey, you know, that's like a what is it, catch-22 in a sense. He says, you don't take orders well. Keep talking, please. If I were to not take, okay, you know, this is like the opposite day debate. Fuck off. They're also thank you, hey dude 77. There's also body-based oppression feminism, according to Melissa A. Fabello from my last video. LOL. I haven't seen your last video yet. Honestly, for some reason, I only get like certain subscription notifications, and even then, I don't have a lot of time to watch videos at this point. The last week, last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks, honestly, it's been dictated. My life has been dictated by studying for finals, doing finals, traveling, and then prepping for this Christmas extravaganza that my dad is putting on at his house. Oh my god, the amount of cookies that we're making. Oh, just makes me want to not eat cookies ever again. That's why I have ice cream. I think I'm subbed to you. Hey, dude. Hang on. Let me check. I can check. Go to channel. There we go. Everyone subscribe to my dude, Hey Dude 77. He's pretty cool. We're subscribing. There we go. And I turn on notifications. Y'all can see that too. Anyway, now I'm subbed to you. I thought I was, though, to be honest. For some reason, I guess I'm not. Oh, bother. Father Time, ranting. I saw that ass beating on the Kumite. I saw like half of that video, and then I had to like go lay down because I was just so... Ugh. Because here's the thing. I've been involved in very difficult situations, difficult conversations with people in my life. For instance, any of the hostage negotiations and barricaded subject negotiations that I've ever been on, those are like talking with a toddler. And I say that not being insensitive, but more so being like just speaking from experience, because I've had dealings with toddlers, and then I've had dealings with people who are taking people hostage. And it's very similar. And what I witnessed with Ranting Monkey and Tonka is that it was how do I put this? Worse than negotiating with a hostage taker who's actually flirting with you. I'd take the hostage taker any day over that hot mess. Not to say that I wouldn't be able to engage, it's just, it would be a waste of my time, honestly. Garrett Marks, independent or stubborn? Yes. I would say both. I get the stubbornness from both of my parents, both of them being extremely stubborn. The independent part, though, that was instilled in me at a very early age by my father. Let's continue on this lovely... Oh, the Polish government. Let's continue on this lovely article by Ian Miles Chong. Much like the official Polish government video on mass immigration, which was also quarantined by YouTube. I remember that, and I even watched it. It wasn't bad. It was not bad. There was nothing wrong with it. The video did not allow its users to like or comment on it. Likewise, there was no way to find it in the search engine, and it's only accessible through a direct link. Throughout the video, I criticized identity politics on both ends of the political spectrum, from college activists to alt-right internet trolls, writes Klein for the Washington Examiner. Despite my attempts to remain not partisan, I am a libertarian working at the alt-right leaning Capital Research Center, and it's likely my bias is detectable. And this fits a growing trend of center-right videos being placed in limited content mode or otherwise restricted. Now, I've never actually had any of my videos like content restricted yet. If you've seen my videos, I mean, they're not inoffensive, but they're not like the worst thing you've ever seen. But I can imagine, based on what I'm hearing about this video, that my videos would probably be a little bit worse. Just in general, content-wise. I mean, y'all saw Weebo getting it off in bed with the clunky piano music. You saw that, right? You saw that video. It was a nice video. I like it. That was all my best filming. Let me just say that. I was very proud of that moment. But like that, not to mention half the commentary that I do, plus half the satire is like really, really edgy shit. Or not really edgy shit, because that sounds like I'm patting myself on the back, but it's shit that YouTube would definitely, you know, have an issue with. But I guess I'm not that big to that point yet. Oh well, I guess I'll try harder. This weird site notifies me that Scribe subbed. Thanks, man, but not that Weebo sub. Does YouTube know I watch her sub? Real issue here. I have no idea, honestly. Hang on, I'm gonna drink some water. Scribe, for those who are unaware of what I'm talking about, there is a video out there. What is it? Is it the gay patriarchy one? Yes, it's the gay patriarchy one. There's a scene where I am laying in my bed with the covers pulled up to like my shoulders, and I pretend to be wanking it under the covers to some really nice old-timey piano music. And it is some of my best work, I must say. It's right up there with the Tide meme and the Strawman Award. Yes, yes, yes it is. I'm very proud of that. The Capital Research Center video is only the latest video to be censored on YouTube. The incident follows... This is why I script my videos, and this is why I heavily edit them too. Oh well. Incident follow... That S is plaguing me. Incident follows Prager use video, which has at least 37 of the videos placed into a limited state. You know, I used to be better at reading, and now I am not. Yep, that's it. Oh, is that the end of the... Okay. So what I will say on this, the YouTube algorithm is still learning. It's YouTube. What do you expect? It'll get better. We know that it's supposed to get worse before it gets better, so I believe it'll get better. And I know that this is coming from a YouTuber who doesn't really have much to worry about with in terms of like, say, just money that she earns on YouTube. I mean, the money that I earn on YouTube and all of the stuff I get on Patreon, that goes towards mostly saving up for that new computer that I'm making, that I'm going to start building. I'm about $450 in, so that's pretty good. But that money goes mostly towards that computer and any other expenses that I need to, fix my computer, maybe up the production quality in some way. So buy wigs. And I'm gonna get a mustache, a real mustache, not a post-it mustache at some point. I promise it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be one of those giant handlebar ones, but it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be so much fun. I'm looking at chat right now. Wanking, yes, as in jacking off. I'm sorry, that's a very British way of putting it, isn't it? I say wanking for some reason. I have always said wanking. Do you have a problem with my use of the word wanking? I am Sam Kurz. I am building a desktop, so a PC, and it'll be a multi-purpose PC. So it'll be for video editing, it'll be for coding purposes, it'll be a dual screen monitor, so I can do more with that, because right now I am working on a MacBook Air. All of my homework, all of my editing, all of my video recording, all of the audio, all of the downloads and uploads, everything happens on this computer. This tiny little MacBook Air that's got, let's see how much memory it's got right now at this moment. I can guarantee you it's a really shitty amount. 6 gigabytes of available memory left. Look at this. I will show you. Wait, no, hang on, that would dox me. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Never mind. I'll take a screenshot of it. No, just take my word for it. It's like 6 point whatever gigabytes of memory left. And that is the struggle. That is the eternal struggle. And that's just because I have a video sitting on my desktop for this week that I have yet to edit down and, get off my computer for some reason. And I use QuickTime Player to screen record my videos. So I use QuickTime Player to record the videos from my face cam on my what do you call it, computer. And for some reason, I don't know why it does this, but QuickTime, it saves the video at a file size that's way bigger than it should be, honestly. And I know this. I know that it's way bigger than it should be, because when I put it onto iMovie and then I re-download it onto the computer, or when I re-upload it onto the desktop, the file size goes down from like 20, because the video size right now is, it's 19.28 gigabytes, and that is a fucking, what, 30-minute video? That's a 30-minute video, and that's how much memory it uses. However, when I convert it to a different file size, hang on. When I convert it to a different file size, so like an MP4, 2.71 gigabytes. So I don't know what the fuck is going on, but something wonky is going on, and it is pissing me off because it's a pain in the ass to figure out. Yes, why fet. It sucks. Apple sucks. Apple sucks like a bitch. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. File size is related to compression method. I don't have Mac or QuickTime, so I don't know how to adjust it. Well, I don't know how to adjust it either, so... Ugh. But yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue I'm going to fix at some point, but right now I just got to live with it. So you only get like half an hour long videos from me every week. I'm so sorry. I can't do more. If I had my way, I'd go to like... The only reason my videos don't go to like 40 minutes to an hour is because of that whole like file size constraint. But also the fact that I'm pretty sure that at that point I'd bore you to death, so I'd have to like split up the video every week into at least 2 parts just to keep your attention. So that's a thing that would happen. So what else? So we have 2 other stories if you want me to. So we have why Anakin Skywalker should have been removed from the Jedi Order for sexual harassment, and Linda Sarsour accused of enabling sexual assault against women who worked for her. Those are your 2 options. 1 and 2. Vote in the chat in that respective order for your story of choice. So, I haven't asked any of you guys, how is your night tonight? Are you doing well? 1. Gotcha. Okay, we'll watch that. I don't know, 40 to 50 minutes of you jilling might garner some interest. Scribe, thank you. Does jilling mean what I think it means? Because I think that means what I think it means. Now this is an archived oh, hang on. This, okay, so this is an archived article. I'm gonna see if I can get the actual original article just because reasons. Okay, it's from USA Today. Let me just screen share. Where the frick did the window go? There it is. There it is. Can you tell I'm shit with technology? Okay. Screen sharing. And I'm getting music. How do I stop it? There we go. I did it. Why Anakin Skywalker should have been removed from the Jedi Order for sexual harassment. Jesus. Okay, so maybe I should have used the archive link. This is a hot mess. The Jedi Council's inability to remove a toxic, misogynistic predator from their ranks ultimately brings about their downfall. No shit, Sherlock. What am I getting in the chat? Night is going pretty good. Had a coconut shrimp for dinner. Portisha for dessert. Potisha? What is that? Not coffee. Smoke and hanging out here. Nice. I'm glad you're hanging out here instead of other places, because this is more interesting, obviously. This is how I spend my nights. I get wild in here. Oh boy. In anticipation of the Star Wars The Last Jedi movie release, like many others, I've been rewatching the series. To my horror, while viewing Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Well, that's your first mistake. If you were watching the prequels, I'm so sorry, but you brought this upon yourself. I realized that Anakin Skywalker, even before overtly becoming evil, was a sexual predator in the workplace. How the fuck? What? Skywalker's role in the destruction of the Jedi Order and the establishment of the Galactic Empire is the impetus? Am I saying that right? Impetus? For the ensuing movies in the franchise. So are you saying that we shouldn't let Anakin do what he needs to do in order to perpetuate a franchise in the name of capitalism. Can suck my dick. What does the chat have to say? Oh, hi, Kara. Is there? How are you tonight, my dear? I just misgender someone and call them my dear. Is that a gender? Does that count? I'm so sorry. I'm adjusting. I'm sorry. Hang on. Give me a sec. It's hot in here. Okay, here we go. There would be no bad guys in a majority of the films if the Jedi Order had removed a workplace predator from their ranks. I'm gonna kill myself. Honestly, someone get me tied for Christmas. I'm gonna get some use out of it. While this may have happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it deserves to be called out now. By allowing a predator in the workplace and not doing enough to fight sexual harassment, the Jedi Council ultimately engineers its own demise. Oh fuck. Where was the sexual harassment? Was it the fact that he was just he was persistent of Padme? Is that the only thing? Like, yes, he was a little bit creepy, but I mean, like, it's not Anakin's fault necessarily. It's the script's fault. The script was shitty. Like, I have no problem with Anakin and Padme being in a relationship with each other at all. I mean, that's it. I mean, just the script was shit. This is what happens when you let George Lucas out of his box. Shit happens. Everything gets ruined. Obviously, right? Am I the only one? Am I the only one? Last Jedi, when you watch it in theaters, it's entertaining, but when you think about it afterwards, you realize it has a lot of problems. Well, yeah, I've heard things. Okay, so I heard that it was shitty, so I was like, well, if it's shitty, but it's shitty for reasons that'll piss me off, then I'm not going to pay, $20 to go see it in the movies with my boyfriend. No, I'm not doing that. So what we're going to do is probably going to end up waiting for it to come out for like a reduced price or rent it on like a Redbox or whatever. We'll do that. And make our own judgment. And at the end, it was indeed, in fact, bad. We can make fun of it, because that's what we do with bad movies. We make fun of them. Or he would have just gone to the dark side earlier. Honestly, yeah, let's be real. So here's the thing. The way that I remember the prequels, and it's been a while since I've seen them, is that Anakin, the reason why he was going to the dark side is because, well, his mother, not the reason he was going to the dark side, but a big part of the reason why he went to the dark side is because his mother was, killed or tortured to death or something of that nature, by, what are they called? Oh, it's been so long. You know I'm old when I can't remember friggin' the names of the thing that's coming to my head, the immediate thing that's coming to my head is very telling of the fact that my boyfriend really needs to stop using this type of shenanigans around me, because this is his influence. But basically the only thing that's coming to my head is, yes, sand niggers. That's the only thing, the only name for them that's coming to my head. Or sand dwellers. Is it sand dwellers? The sand people? Which is it? Tusken Raiders. There we go. Tusken Raiders. That's what I was looking for. Anyway, so what the fuck was I talking about? Okay, yeah, no. So Anakin, the reason why, in my opinion, the reason why Anakin started turning more towards the dark side. I mean, let's be real. Anakin was a little shit from the beginning. He was going to go eventually. It was just a matter of how to get him to that point. But anyway, a big part of the influence of what turned him towards the dark side was the loss of his mother. And it was a brutal loss of his mother. And right after that, he slaughtered a whole friggin' tribe of them. The men, but not just the men, the women and the children too. If you ever watch prequel memes, or if you ever see prequel memes on Twitter, you should totally follow them. I follow them specifically because of the memes. Because they're prequel memes and they're fan-fucking-tastic. But So yeah, he slaughtered a whole bunch of Tusken Raiders. And right after that, well, not right after that, but uh, Ranting Monkey, we're talking about Sand Niggers, aka Tusken Raiders. Oops. My bad. Yeah, I am just talking to myself. But you guys are listening to me talk to myself. That's the thing. Who's really losing here? Honestly, let's be real. So, okay, right after Anakin slaughtered the Tusken Raiders, that's kind of like the beginning of the end for him. I'm pretty sure that if it weren't for Padme, he totally would have gone off the deep end completely after that point. Turned to the dark side, just completely, right then and there. No question in my mind about it. However, Padme was there. And, he didn't end up, going towards the dark side because he had Padme. Of course, later on in the prequels, he's been further seduced by the dark side, to the point where he thinks that Obi-Wan has kind of turned Padme against him in a sense. But at this point, Padme's already pregnant with Luke and Leia. So if it weren't for Anakin's sexual perversion, he would not, Luke and Leia would never have been born, and there wouldn't have been like an original series, but also there wouldn't have been, a fucking like second win for the Jedi in a sense. Hey dude, 77 says, Weebo, I did offer to come on in DMs though, lol, so you chose to make us listen to you. Well, does anyone have a problem with listening to me? I mean, you're all here, right? Right? Anyway, so let's get back to this shenanigans, because I am curious as to how they reconcile this bullshittery. Skywalker's role in the destruction of the Jedi Order and the establishment of the... Wait, did I already read this? Yes, I did. Wow. This may have happened a long time ago. Fuck, I read that too. Members of the Jedi Council should have removed Skywalker from the Jedi Order after his many missteps while protecting Senator Padme Amidala. If they had, Chancellor Palpatine would have been unable to leverage Skywalker into destroying the Jedi Order, dismantling democracy, and creating the first galactic empire. I just fucking explained why that wouldn't have been the case. I just fucking went into graphic detail with some side anecdotes, but fuck me, right? Fuck yeah. Okay, strike one. Skywalker, who is officially assigned to protect Amidala from an assassination plot, begins crossing professional and personal boundaries as soon as he's alone with her. Hang on. Didn't she kiss him first in the first movie, The Phantom Menace? Just curious. First serial. Can someone, please enlighten me. Was it Padme that kissed Anakin first? I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. So if anything, she started it. Honestly, yeah, no. Senator Padme was a higher ranking person than, say, Anakin was. Too. Sam Course is right. Senator Padme took advantage of her position as senator and sexually harassed Anakin. Well, not necessarily sexually harassed, but I mean, like, that was a gross overstep of, a person's authority. She kissed him, yeah, but he was 9. Thank you, Hem Cannon. That's what I thought. On the cheek, not like on the lips. It was on the cheek, but it's still like, come on. A 9-year-old boy's gonna remember that, especially from like someone as cute as who played Padme. It was Natalie Portman, right? Pretty sure. And yes, Festering Wound. I am somewhat of a Star Wars nerd. I am subscribed to a Star Wars theory, and I came back from the thrift bookstore with like comics and a Darth Vader comic. So, but those are for boyfriend. I am giving them to him for Christmas. Don't tell him. They kind of kissed each other, in my opinion, in episode 2. How? Hey, dude. 77. Tim Gersh. Well, clearly she was getting very friendly with a little boy. Honestly, yes. No, same. Let's talk about the gross, the obvious pedophilia that Senator Padme Amidala was ensuing upon this little 9-year-old kid. I mean, what senator/queen person thingy? Like, cause she at the time wasn't she with like a queen or something? Are you an urban acolyte? What the fuck does that mean? Urban acolyte. I feel like I should know what this means, but I don't. So let's be real. Okay. So the first sign that anyone was a sexual predator, I mean, let's take it back to the first movie when Padme kisses a 9-year-old boy. If the genders had been reversed, how do you think people would have reacted? And I can tell you how they would have reacted. People reacted, you know, twice as bad to freaking what Joe Biden whispering into that little kid's ear. Come on, seriously. Anyway, my bitchiness aside. I think she was supposed to be only 4 or 5 years older than him, but I mean, like, still, even in that sense, she did kind of start things, in my opinion. Oh, Prince's channel, he does Star Wars videos. Can you link me to that? Like, can you send me a link to that on Twitter? Because I would be very interested to see that. Because I have been picking up on a lot of Star Wars lore over the past couple months because why the fuck not? I kind of got a little bit obsessed with it. I went overboard. I'm so sorry. But, you know, that was a thing that happened. Tim Gersh. Yeah, she was a queen, so she should have known better. That's what I thought. Yeah. Boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hey, Dude 77. I don't remember them kissing in Phantom Menace. It was a kiss on the cheek, but it was like, you know, it wouldn't be that memorable. And plus, it's the prequels. No one fucking remembers the prequels unless, of course, they're having war flashbacks. Let's be real. I mean, Nisa. Really? You want to remember that? Anyway. While Amidala is packing her bags for a long trip with her state-appointed protector, Skywalker starts making inappropriate advances. She flat out tells him, "Don't look at me like that." How is he looking at her exactly? Just curious, because my age-riddled brain is a little bit sketch on the details. Was it like one of those look you up and down type looks? Or was it like a intense, deep longing type look? I mean, without context, both are a little bit creepy, but I mean, she did start it. Oh, wow, Fett. Padme was queen at a very young age. The makeup made her look mature and older. In The Phantom Menace, she was 14 and Anakin was 9. In Attack of the Clones, she was 19 and he is 19 and she is 24. Okay. So fair enough. But I mean, like, she doesn't, they should have used a younger actress for Padme in The Phantom Menace, because let's be real, that would have made things a little bit less weird. It wasn't like the kiss was going to give him a Woody. You don't know that. You don't know what's going on in Anakin Skywalker's pants. Unless you do, in which case, please enlighten us. Hey, Dude 77. Weebo, actually, when you see Last Jedi, we need to stream and have Star Wars discussion. I swear to God. I'm kind of dreading watching the movie. Simply because of the spoilers that I've been exposed to. Did you like the video I sent you on Nightwing? Was that the Tim Gersh? Thank you. Honestly, dude, I get sent a lot of videos. It depends on how long ago this was, where it was, and fucking wish I could remember, because I get sent a lot of videos, dude. Send it to me again. I'll watch it. Send it to me on, like, make sure I'm tagged. Make sure you know that this is something that I should watch. Be persistent about it, because I have such memory issues, especially since, like, I have so much that I gotta do. I can't wait till after Christmas. Then everything's gonna just chill the fuck out, and I'm gonna go back to sitting in my room by myself, not socializing with anyone, making videos and scripting shit and being oppressed. I mean, being oppressive. I mean, the life of a trap is so hard, guys. I'm struggling. The struggle is real. Anyway, because it makes me feel uncomfortable. Oh darn, sucks to be you. He simultaneously offers a fastidious Hang on.
Facetious.
Facetious. Okay, that's actually what that word looks like in real life. Gotcha. Apology and undermines her own position of authority over him. If she has a position of authority over him, can't she just make him go away or make him, not her guard person thing? Isn't that how this works? even when a woman is in a position of power, apparently the patriarchy is fucking oppressing her, guys. Do you see how shitty this Tim Gersh, well, it was his creator, but yeah, I will send it again. Yeah, I figure you would get a kick out of it. First, Jesus, thanks, guys. I had to use the dictator voice to do that. Oh well. She calls him out on him, and it should be the end of the story, but he insists on harassing Amidala for the duration of the film, making her feel, at times, uncomfortable and unsafe. How do you know what the fuck Amidala is feeling? Honestly, did she tell you? Did you have an interview with her? Was this some Title IX bullshit interview that you had with her? Is Anakin on trial now? Honestly, I am unamused. Even during meals, Skywalker is relentless in his pursuit of Amidala. She attempts to make light conversation around Skywalker's Jedi vows, but he uses this polite discussion as an opportunity to pounce, declaring that he can't be with the people I love. He immediately follows this up by confessing to her that he remembers her in his dreams. Skywalker is telling an elected official who is obliged to be in his presence that he has been dreaming about her. No, she's not obliged to be in his presence. She can get a different fucking Jedi if she's uncomfortable. Or she can tell him to fuck off and go into a different room. She has that type of power. Have you not met members of the state? They have the power to order bitches around that are under their, instruction in a sense? I mean, come the fuck on. Yes, thank you, Scribe. She could have requested a different babysitter. Thank you. God damn it. Nasang. Evening, Weeby Jones. Evening, gentlemen, ladies. Jay Hurricane, I spoke to her, she was into it. Okay, well then, problem solved. There you go. This is another case of one of those, psychic feminists type articles where they know exactly what a character in a movie is thinking. Are you sure you're not just interpreting shit from your own biased worldview? Please and get off your high horse. Who's to say that your interpretation of anything is a lot more valid than anyone else's interpretation of anything? Let's be real. If you turn down the volume, it's almost ASMR-like. Should I talk in a whisper? Would that be suitable for you? She wanted him there. They were dating. This person is an idiot. Oh boy. So you found out your grade on your paper yet? Did you get a good grade? See, here's the thing. They never actually give us back our final grades. They just give us final grades on the final assignments that we have. They just give us a final, composite of the final grade. And I found out yesterday what I got, and it is not my best semester, I'm gonna say. This is coming from a student who's gotten straight A's before, so it's not my best semester, and I do not blame myself in the slightest. Okay, I blame myself a little bit. I blame myself in the sense that I took one too many study-intensive classes for the semester that I was looking at. I should have probably kind of reeled back a little bit and not taken data structures on top of ancient Greek, on top of freaking social psych with a W credit, because that's just a work overload, honestly. But in the sense that I didn't learn because I wasn't applying myself, I definitely fucking applied myself. Yes, I did take a lot of AP classes. My senior semester, I could have actually gotten off fucking early release or late arrival, but I decided to take all 8 fucking classes, 4 of which were AP classes. But anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so grades this semester. I found out yesterday I got 2 Bs, a C plus, and a fucking D plus in data structures. I was so sure that I was going to get at least a C. I don't know what the fuck happened. I think I might have to retake that class. I've never had to retake a class in my life, but here I am. Guys, college is hard. College is really hard. And that's all I'll say about that. Tim Gersh, yeah, well, Weebo Jones, that was Jedi, so it would have been a pain to get a different Jedi. I bet. Sucks to suck, I guess. No, D isn't failing in college. And Coegs? You guys have such weird names. I can't pronounce half of them. But no, D isn't failing in college. D is at least passing. And I still have a 3.1 GPA with those grades in the book. So for now, I'm good, but I cannot afford to get any lower grades next semester. I at least have to get A's and B's. A's and B's, A's and B's. Otherwise, I lose my scholarship. Oh boy. So what were we saying? I don't want to talk about grades anymore. It hurts. It hurts too much. I've never been a D student in my life. That's my first D I've ever gotten as a grade. It upsets me. But that's enough of that. Let's get on to the fuckery that is this article. He immediately follows this up by confessing to her that he remembers her in his dreams. Skywalker is oh no, we already read this. It's an unhealthy obsession, not anything close to love. Well, what the fuck do you know? Maybe it was. Maybe you're just reading this in a different way than other people were. Isn't love supposed to be subjective, ho? And where can Amidala go? Her life is in danger, and she has no choice but to stay with Skywalker, who's at turns her protector and her predator. On top of all this, Skywalker has supernatural powers. He's one of the strongest beings in the galaxy. Talk about power dynamic. I mean, let's be real. Skywalker, who is still a Padawan learner and not yet a Jedi Knight, isn't content with threatening Amidala's sexual agency, but insists on undermining her professional authority as well. How the fuck? On her home planet of Naboo, she discusses with the Queen where she would like to stay while in hiding. Skywalker takes this moment in front of an assortment of nobility and elected officials to throw a tantrum and assert his dominance by telling her that he's in charge of security. Well, I mean, he loves her. That's what love does. It makes you a little bit crazy, especially if you're in such a situation where you're, 19, going through puberty and can't get your fucking shit together. Yes, I do need to go to my safe space. This is my safe space, though. I have all control here. Homestiv the fuck. I like it. Later, when they're alone, Skywalker decides to confront her with his feelings. He tells her that since they met when he was a child, a day hasn't gone by when I haven't thought of you. That's just plain creepy. Or, romantic from a different point of view, but I guess you're just not that kind of a person. Oh well. It's okay. Here, have you noticed anything? Like, creepiness is only creepy when you find a person unattractive, or you find a person not to your liking in terms of how you feel about them emotionally. It's only creepy if you don't feel the same. Then it's romantic. Does anyone else notice that? Honestly. Or at the very mildest form, like when you don't find them attractive, you find it, sweet or something? Because here's the thing. I don't mind it when people do that kind of stuff, like with me, almost flirty in a sense. I find it flattering. I think so nice, but I don't find it creepy. But at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily act on it in a sense. It's just it's one of those things. It's like a non-issue. Why would you worry the fuck about that? Seriously. It's creepy because the writing is awful. Okay, I'll give it that. But writing aside, I mean, writing aside, the movies could have gone a completely different direction with the same type of romantic attraction going on. Honestly, there are so many ways this could have gone. Honestly, I feel almost like they should have played up the whole the love triangle factor, because I know it's a tried trope of like space soap operas, or soap operas in general. I know that the love triangle is a thing that is tried and a trope. If they had maybe given the illusion of a love triangle between Obi-Wan, maybe Padme, and freaking Anakin, that might have improved the plot a little bit, just in the sense of like, and his seduction into the Force, in a sense. I have a few ideas, actually. What could have made the movies better? Definitely get rid of Jar Jar Binks. Absolutely. Fuck Jar Jar. Even though his voice is slightly amusing, it's fucking annoying. Probably the writing could definitely have been better, honestly. Yes, could have definitely been better. Anakin's character could have been acted out a little bit less like an autistic on crack, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, no, Darwin Nathaniel. Love triangles are such a bore, but I'm saying not necessarily a legit love triangle, but the illusion of one. Not for us, because we would be aware that it's not a legit thing, but like in Anakin's perspective, given the illusion of some sort of love triangle, like his love for Padme is in danger. Because I feel like the whole seduction of like jealousy would have been a better thing to go off of, because not only was Anakin kind of struggling with not being a Jedi Master, but like at the same time, maybe if he felt like he was, one, losing his position, or the possibility of being in position of power on the Jedi Council, as well as maybe the love of his life, that would have been more motivation to turn towards the dark side than, say, fucking what happened in the actual prequels. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. If you guys have any other suggestions, that would be cool. I like conversations like this. It would have been nice. How it should have ended type shit. Let's go to Strike 4. Then he places the blame on her, because of course a woman can't exist professionally without it threatening some self-centered man. He tells her, very soul, tormenting me. What can I do? How about realize this is a you problem and let Tala live her life? It's like you've never, ever had a mature adult conversation with a member of the opposite sex. I mean, how else are you supposed to work out your issues with another person that you have, even if they're just romantic frustrations with another person, unless you talk with them about it? I mean, like, do you just go through life waiting for, or not waiting for, or not even having that discussion of, do you feel the same way about me that I feel about you? Or, just tormented soul type edgy teenage conversations about what the fuck ever. Do you do that? Do you do that? Probably not. Tim Gersh, you are a cute girl, so I say that, and sure, it is just nice thing to hear, but it's weird because I do not really know you past a few of your videos. Well, that's fine. Honestly, I don't mind if people find me attractive and tell me that they find me attractive. It's a compliment, honestly. I see it as just flattering, because I know nothing necessarily is going to come out of it, unless in the extreme case of that person being extremely persistent past the point of like normalcy, in which case that is creepy. But a one-time thing, one-off thing, or just like someone that I don't know, or someone that I do know being that way, in a sense, I mean, we're gonna have to have that conversation eventually, and it won't come off as creepy until we've had that conversation, necessarily, I guess. Obi-Wan was in love with Satine Cruz. Duchess Satine Cruz is the pacifist leader of the new Mandalorians and the planet Mandalore during the Clone Wars. See, I didn't know that. Now that's a little bit more information I could have used before I made that type of theory. I mean, I only know basic level Star Wars stuff, like kind of what the lightsabers stand for, but like very vaguely. It was a while that I learned that. It's a while ago that I learned what all the lightsabers are, the colors of the lightsabers mean. Like I know yellows are for like the guards of the Jedi. Is it temple or is it library? I can't remember, but those are like switch off, switch on type lightsabers. Like no one owns a specific lightsaber. Regular Jedi do or regular Sith do in a sense. Like Kylo Ren, his iconic cross C type lightsaber. Yes, thank you. Temple guards. Wyofet. This is the temple guards. I know. Oh, there's a fire in Southern California which has reached 273,400 acres. Becomes the state's largest wildfire in history. Oh darn. Sucks for them. I don't have to worry about that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, no, I know basic knowledge like that. Not a whole bunch of it, but I mean, I'm still learning. I'm still working on my lore. It's not a complete lore, but I would say that it is more intense than most people who've just seen the movies. Satine was killed when Maul impaled her with a dark saber and then became Mandalore, the leader of the Mandalorians. That was all in the Clone War cartoon, which is canon. Okay, see, I have not seen a lot of the Clone War cartoons, which I really do, honestly. I really want to see them. I'd love to. Thank you, Snubber13. $5. Guardians are blue, yellow, are Sentinels green, or Consulars. Okay, fair enough. Now, someone tell me what a consular means, because I am but a wee child. James Cooley, thank you for the $5. Sounds like a super superficial feminist. One who has never been in a true relationship. Honestly, that's exactly what this sounds like to me. And I can tell because I have been in a true relationship before, and I've seen true relationships fail, and I've seen what creepers are. Like, I've had my fair share of interactions with creepy men. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't happen the way that she's describing it. It's not necessarily, I wouldn't describe any of what they did as sexual harassment necessarily. Just maybe people who don't understand what social norms are, which is not that uncommon a thing. I mean, come on. Social norms, not even just across like, generations, but across cultures and across maybe state lines. They're different. They're so different. And if you know anything about social psychology, you would know that social norms amongst people are not universal. And that's the main reason why you shouldn't take a lot of what people do and say as an offensive thing necessarily. I mean, everyone's different, right? So what one person could consider as offensive or creepy or what have you, another person could consider as maybe not as creepy or offensive or whatever. But that's just my analysis based on my education, which does happen to be in psychology. And I just finished going through social psychology. So, I have a little bit of background, and it's substantial. Please make a YouTube series on your creepy men encounters, Weebo. See, here's the thing. None of them are seriously dramatic or substantial enough to actually make into full-length videos. If anything, I'd have to make an entire one video on all of the encounters because they're so marginal and so silly and so ridiculous that it wouldn't even be worth an entire series of videos. You feel? Number 13, consulars are like philosophers, and more force focuses as contrast. The guards are about fighting and physical. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Honestly, your name is so difficult to pronounce. I'm so sorry. Weebo, you are a hot babe, so you're bound to attract your fair share of creeps and creepers. Honestly, yes, but not as many as you'd think. I mean, I get the odd comment here and there, but on YouTube, I don't feel creeped out very often. I mean, there's been a few incidences, two that I can really recall off the top of my head, but they were extreme cases and nothing really in between. I could talk about those for hours, though, later. That's its own separate issue. Well, he was a slave child and later a Jedi, so odds are he was antisocial, had very antisocial. I'm just gonna say that, assume that you meant he was a very antisocial child or boy or person, or he had antisocial tendencies, probably Tim Kirsch. Which, yes, totally makes sense. I mean, if you're raised to be a subordinate to everyone else, I mean, how else are you supposed to get up in life aside from maybe sucking it up to a person who is above you in a sense? So it's no wonder that he would be somewhat attracted to a woman in a position of power in a way that it seems almost pathetic. Because if I were to describe Anakin's relation with Padme, I would say that it is a bit pathetic in a sense that, well, one, it doesn't speak of a very secure attachment, but at the same time, the way that he speaks, it's not necessarily with conviction or confidence or an air that would depict him as someone worthy of, and this is going to sound shitty, but worthy of being of that kind of equal status in terms of position in that society, because he was a very subordinate partner to Padme in the sense that I was getting. But I guess that might just be my opinion. I love that we're talking about Star Wars. This is making me so happy, especially since The Last Jedi just came out and it's making me depressed. Sorry, I had to drink some water. I'm drying out my throat. See, I can only do 2-hour increment in streams and stuff. I disagree. Regardless of your circumstances and upbringing, you have personal choices in what kind of person you become. Yes, Scribe, you do, but I will say that there is evidence to support the certain types of behaviorisms that you'll exhibit later on in life do stem from the way that you're treated as a child. For instance, how do I put this? Okay, so if you've ever heard of Bandura's study of social learning, you'll know that we as children, or just in general, people who observe everyday life situations and scenarios, if we are observing violence in a sense. So in that experiment, children were observing not just on television, but on and not just in a cartoon, but in real life through a glass window, another person punching out the lights of a Bobo blow-up doll, not a sexual one, but one of those clown dolls that you punch and it goes down and it comes back up. They observed this behavior from another person, and then later on in the study, they ended up mimicking that same behavior. Prior to that, they hadn't really had any opinion or physical stance with regards to the Bobo doll. However, after they witnessed this display of violence, they did, in fact, engage in violence with the Bobo clown doll. And I can't remember if there was no differential between the kids who saw the person being rewarded versus the kids that saw the adult being disciplined for it. I mean, they still learned the violent behavior. They might just be less likely to exhibit it in the presence of another person or in the presumed presence of another person. Here's a thought for you. So I would say that, hang on, before I continue on the chat, I will say that I think it is a combination of your social exposure that influences your development into an adult. I definitely think that, but at the same time, I do believe that personal choices can influence the way that you approach your decision-making in life, as well as, say, perhaps maybe, the way that you were naturally just born. Not so much nurture as nature. This is the debate that people have going on. Is it nature or is it nurture? Is one or the other the primary influence for a person's personhood when they grow up? And I would have to say that it might be a combination of both. It depends on maybe, how much a person lets their nature overtake their nurture versus, and vice versa. But yes, at the end of the day, it's up to you to make those decisions. But I will say, the development process does come and does stem from the way that you are nurtured as well as, natured. Does that make sense? Am I coming off as too much? Because I know I do that sometimes. Here's a thought for you, Weebo Jones. Did Anakin have an Oedipus complex with his relation with Padme? Now, here's an interesting question because we don't know. Well, okay. We kind of do have some speculation going on as to who Anakin's father is. It's never, that I know of, it's not specifically stated, but I mean, it's heavily hinted at within the prequels that, what's his name? It's not Darth Plagueis, is it? Fuck. Oh, see, this is what happens when you haven't seen the prequels in for fucking ever. But we do know that in the prequels that you could, manipulate midichlorians. Fuck those, by the way. To, in essence, create life, and that it's very heavily hinted at that that was what was done with Anakin. So in a sense, he's like the chosen one, Jesus style. Fuck, what was I saying? I was saying that I just totally lost my place. Oh, Oedipus complex. Oh, Kyber Punisher is ready to come into the chat. I mean, you can come into the chat anytime you want. We are talking about Star Wars and the Oedipus complex, and he can join me. So we're gonna get a second person in here, so I don't just talk to myself and you chat. So I was saying Oedipus complex. There we go. So because he didn't have a father figure, he probably saw his mother as kind of, his responsibility to protect in a sense, because there was no one else there, and that's kind of like the example that's led for you, at least in traditionalist cultures in, the United States and stuff. Hi, Punisher. We're talking about whether or not Anakin had an Oedipus complex with relation to Padme.
Well, it's nice to see that I came in on a very simple discussion.
Yeah. So basically, I was going through the entire anthology of how Anakin maybe came to be. So we're diving into the fact that he didn't have a father. He probably felt a little bit of a responsibility in terms of his mother and helping her out or something. There was definitely a relationship there that wasn't necessarily one that you would typically see with a mother and a child in a sense. So there was a little bit of wonkiness going on there, and I do think that because Padme and Anakin met when he was such a young child, that might also kind of play into the whole Oedipus complex factor. Does it help? Does that make sense?
My only real question is, can you have an Oedipus complex for someone who's not your mother?
You can have an Oedipus complex, and this is, honestly, we're talking about Freud here, and Freud's theory of the Oedipus complex is slightly not popular idea, and popular in the sense that, how do I say? It's there's barely any merit to it, but if we are going to say that Anakin had an Oedipus complex, you can theoretically, if that were to be a legit thing, you would be able to have an Oedipus complex for someone who isn't your biological mother, so long as they were somewhat of an influence on you in early life, in a sense, like maybe, yes, like a well-fed a replacement for his mother, in a sense. Anakin did technically balance the forces Vader. Well, I mean, I suppose. Can you go into detail?
2 apiece.
Person. True. Hang on. I just want to get some of these questions before we dive back into the conversation. The original Knights of the Republic, Knights of the Old Republic games. No, I did not. Sorry, Snubberth. So if you reached out to Marina Shut Up and maybe set up a chat or a debate session with her. I have not done that. It hadn't even occurred to me to do that, mainly because I don't think she would ever say yes to me, but I can certainly try. Time it's been a crazy couple of weeks, so it's been a little hard to think of anything but the next video that I gotta crank out and trying to figure out when to stream for everybody. That would be good. Unsurprisingly, that didn't work out this time, but we will find a date that everyone is available. I swear this upon my... Most of the people are available. Whoever wants to jump in can totally do that. Punisher is here because now I'm not just talking to myself. Sorry, I feel like I'm dominating.
Well, how do you know you're not talking to yourself?
Good question. Do you want me to continue reading this lovely article about how Anakin is, well, it's almost over, but how Anakin is a sexual predator, or should I just talk with you instead? Or does it matter?
It's up to you. If everybody's engaged in Anakin being a sexual predator, that's, I'm okay with that subject because honestly, mostly I'm baking right now. Oh,
you're baking like a cake? I hope it's a cake. If it's not a cake, then I cannot condone what you're doing.
It's
Explore
pull apart bread.
State where that is illegal. Okay. So the bitching witch says it wasn't an Oedipus complex. He put Padme on a pedestal because she was the first female he interacted with that showed him kindness because his mother. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. That I will say that is a lot more sense. See, I was trying to explain it more in the concept of the Oedipus complex. I'm gonna X out of this, guys. I hope you don't mind. There we go. Now we can just see each other's beautiful icons. Yay!
Yay, indeed.
So how are you doing, Predator? Or Predator, Punisher, fuck me. Ugh!
What, am I Anakin Skywalker now?
Yes. I have Predator on the brain. I'm sorry. I saw it in the chat, and then for some reason I read it as you...
I just have this idea of that scene in my head of me pulling the Punisher mask off and steam coming out, and you're just looking at me and saying, "You are one ugly motherfucker."
Goddamn.
You put these things in my head.
Now I kind of want to watch Predator. Just a little bit. Hi, Cross435. Sorry, what?
That's a Christmas movie of choice? Predator?
No. My Christmas movie of choice is usually The Nightmare Before Christmas. Just because I can sing along all live long day. Killed his master Sidious, who had brought about a rather dangerous point in it. His destruction of the Jedi Order was collateral. Sidious was the imbalance. Gotcha. All right. Okay, so that's how Darth Vader balanced the Force. Anyway, so what are you doing this fine December?
I have, well, God, what am I not doing? So, stuff with the in-laws over Christmas, and then immediately after that is a wonderful excuse to leave on time. We are taking a cruise to New Caledonia over New Year's.
Caledonia?
New Caledonia. It's a little island near Vanuatu. It's very French. They actually speak French there, which is cool because everywhere else you go around here, they speak English, and it kind of feels like you've gone a long way to really not find any place foreign. But New Caledonia, when they speak French, it's like, all right, I'm someplace else.
I've heard Caledonia before. Hang on, what the fuck is a Caledonia?
Well, I don't know what the original Caledonia was, but I assume it's a region of some French-controlled area.
Caledonia is the Latin name given by the Romans to the land in today's Scotland, north of their province in Britain. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I was like, they speak French?
Well, in New Caledonia, they speak French. In the Old Caledonia, apparently they do.
Yeah, no, I was thinking because I know that it has a very Celtic. There's a song, I can't remember what it's called, but it has Caledonia in the name. Something like "Welcome to Caledonia." Caledonia song. Oh, yep, it's just Caledonia. No, it's not that one. It's not the song that I'm looking at. God damn it. Whatever. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But Caledonia, so you're going there just because they speak French, or?
Well, it's a tropical island vacation. We're taking a cruise, and
Ooh.
the cruise stops there.
Ooh, I'm jealous. I wish I could go on a cruise, but I'm not doing that until at least May term. And then I get to go to Greece. That'll be fun. I get to break out my ancient Greek.
Read all the monuments. Find out that they're really all just dirty words.
Oh yeah. So the one user who has a quote mark and a period and a quote mark, and how the fuck am I supposed to pronounce that name? But every time I see it, I get a kick out of it. He says, Weebo Jones, every time I walk over a bridge, I get the urge to throw my house keys in the river. Why is that? Okay, so there's an actual name for this. I can't fucking remember what it's called. But it's, when you have the power to ruin your life, but you don't, like... Let me look it up. Does anyone know what this concept is called? Because it's actually got a name. I'm looking it up.
Sorry, I am not a psychology student.
It's not a psychology term that I'm aware of. Term for when you want to jump off a cliff, but you don't. That's also another factor of it. There is an actual legit term for it.
I mean, throwing your house keys in the river wouldn't ruin your life. It would just ruin your afternoon when you got home and realized you couldn't get in your house and had to call a locksmith.
Okay. I think I found it, and it it is a psychology term. Hang on. No, never mind. Something akin to it, but anyone in the chat know? Contemplating the void. No, I don't think that's what it's called. It was on a Den is Not on Fire video. I swear to God, he covered this, and he gave an actual name for it. Untranslatable word. It's like the call to the void or something. The call to the void. Now this is gonna piss me off the rest of the night, because I know what it's called. I just can't fucking... Okay, I found it. It's French. Literally translates to the call to the void. It's l'appel du vide. Why we self-sabotage. This urge to sabotage ourselves is human. It is ingrained in the mind. Human beings are adapted to confront homeostasis, and we are naturally resistant to change. When you're making progress, the void is regression, and the call is no less strong. Anybody who's given themselves the mission of improving their fitness will know the urge to skip workouts. Yeah, I do. I know this urge. I know it all too well. Indulge in shitty foods. Again, I know this very well. Or give up completely. Hashtag me during finals. Ask any entrepreneur if they felt the urge to give it all up. Only a liar will deny that. Sometimes a new mother will even resent the newborn and want them gone. Why you do this? Oh my gosh. Memes. Article. Here, I'm going to broadcast this for everybody because it's important that we all see it. It's a very interesting concept. I'm intrigued. Punisher, if you want to jump in anytime you can, it's totally alright. I feel like I'm dominating. Again, I do this all the time.
That's alright. It's, you know, I just wait for the lull. They come eventually. You do have to breathe.
Breathing is for the weak. I don't breathe.
Well, I assume you have to breathe, and then you do that weird, like, circular breathing thing where you can continue talking while you're breathing, and it it fascinates me. So I'm just kind of dumbstruck until it's over.
I do
But eventually, I will come in. So
okay. Okay. Let's talk the cliff example. As you stand off the cliff edge, your nervous system gives a warning that you're in danger. Adrenaline pumps, your heart rate increases, your pupils dilate, the thought of your destruction is formed in the mind. This is the first call of the void. Your body recognizes the danger, but how you react to this determines whether or not the call is strong. Anxious at the thought, replaying scenarios over and over in your head. If you do, your obsession replicates the thought, the call to the void, over and over. It acquires mimetic. Okay, mimetic. Oh, so it's not memes. Okay.
well, it is memes, but it's just a
different
adjective form.
Yeah, okay. It acquires mimetic strength in your mind. It goes viral in your head. The call gets stronger, and you might start to feel vertigo. In the most extreme cases, the effect will involuntarily drive people to fall off the edge. Damn, that's a strong call. Weebo, absorb oxygen. LOL. Yes, I do. I'm like a friggin' plant. Just breathe. Tell us, Weebs, what do you see? Everything. Everything.
So you're a trap
Thoughts
and you
on
have
this?
spiracles.
Apparently. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, bitches. We know this. Do you guys care about ignoring the void's call? I'll put this in the description if you guys want to see it. Good thing my porn is closed. Just kidding. I don't watch porn on my computer.
That's what phones are for.
On my phone. Exactly. That's what phones are for. So, you are going to Catalonia.
New Caledonia. Not Catalonia, Caledonia.
Because I was going to say, one of those places is I don't know. in an issue.
It's part of what in times past might have been called French Polynesia.
Gotcha. Cool. Tumblr has the best porn, LOL. Don't I know it, Wildfett? Don't I know it? So I have a question, Wildfett. Is your name derived from like the Boba Fett character? Because I feel like it is. So, Punisher, serious question. You have the Jester hat on top of your icon. Yeah. Is there any reason for that? Or is it just cool? It makes you iconic.
It's there because it's all like mocking.
Gotcha.
If not, it's just a skull and it's just kind of scary, but I'm not trying to be scary, I'm trying to be funny.
Yeah, no, your skull kind of amuses me because it's got the eye holes in a way that is laughing.
Well, that was why I drew it that way, yes.
Nice. I like.
The whole thing was designed to be, a little bit more cute than angry, but still mocking.
Yeah, it is cute. I like.
That was the point.
I like it. Wild Fett. Yes, I love my home state of Wyoming, and I have a Bobo Fett-ish. So I combine the two. Good on you, sir. Good on you. I think solitary confinement is the best way to reform a prisoner. Give them 2 rooms, a toilet, and a shower, and a bedroom. Then the only form of entertainment they are allowed is reading anti-crime books. Then you just leave them all alone with their own thoughts. Honestly, that would be a good way to do things. I mean, because we know that, in a sense, well, okay, here's the thing. Solitary confinement works up to a point. We know that human beings, necessarily, they are social creatures. So that means that in any event where they are isolated for a lengthy period of time from people, in a sense, just in general, from anyone that they might otherwise socialize with, even maybe guards that they interact with, if they are isolated for any prolonged period of time without a sense of relief, in a sense. They will go crazy. They will. It is torture in a sense. But I will say that time for someone to think is important. Because if you're not doing that extra step to be introspective about your life, if you're not making an effort, in a sense, then you're not going to change very much at all, really. But at the same time, you have to make sure that those people are actually engaging in introspection into their lives to, in a sense, make a difference. And with that requirement for making sure, being proactive about this engagement that they're having in their own personal lives or in their own personal time, there's got to be some way to determine how much a person is being introspective, which I think is part of the reason why we should employ more psychologists, or just in general people who can read people and talk to people and kind of figure people out in the prison system, just to talk with these people, because they are people. Don't forget that they are people. They're people who have committed crimes, but I mean, that's fine. If you're like me and you believe in second chances for most anything, except for rapists and like really bad rapists and murderers and child molesters, you believe that people can change. And in a sense, that change comes from being introspective. If you don't realize what it is you've done wrong, or why it's wrong, or why it hurts other people, then you're not going to change so much. Or if you don't realize why you are in prison, you're not going to go very far in terms of changing yourself. If that makes sense.
The other thing too is that when you're alone and you're in isolation and the entirety of the world is basically you, that doesn't do anything to curb any sociopathic or self-centric tendencies you have. That just encourages you to build the fantasy of the world around yourself, because you are your only experience. That interaction with other people, therapeutic conversation, is really important if anybody's going to have any chance of being rehabilitated.
I want to clarify something, because Monkey pointed it out. He said really bad rapist as opposed to what? So in this instance, really bad rapist would be like a serial rapist, someone who maybe, or just someone who knows what they were doing was bad and who's fully aware of exactly what it is that they did, as opposed to maybe someone who just, slept with someone who was too drunk to consent, maybe, but they weren't aware of that, because there's a lot of gray area in that area of consent and what it means. Or maybe someone who was in a sexual relationship with someone who is barely a minor, so someone who is like 17 and 18, age of consent state, stuff like that. Those aren't, I wouldn't say, really bad rapists. So in a sense, yeah, no, a pedophile is the worst rapist, but I'm saying, like, in the hierarchy of sex offenders, I wouldn't say that those people that I gave examples of are necessarily really bad rapists, even though they are regarded as such by the title of sex offender, stuff like that. Did that do a good job of explaining my point and position? I feel like I ramble sometimes.
I think so, but it's up to Monkey.
Monkey, did I adequately convey my meaning? We need to fix the broken human nature before we can ever hope to end crimes like rape. Exactly. And a lot of instances of what I would constitute as really, intentional, methodical, malicious rapes. What I would say about those is those are the type of people who are deeply troubled. They're deeply troubled in a sense that they don't see other people necessarily as people. There's an empathy problem there. They don't necessarily, on any level or any meaningful level, empathize with their victims. And why that's an issue is because when you lose empathy for a person or a group of people or anyone, and this is the same thing that I've talked about in videos about, you know, race versus race and race baiting and stuff, or even my last video, the one where I regaled my lovely essay tale. I was talking about how the in-group versus the out-group kind of loses their empathy for another person if, you know, they see them as non-human in a sense. And the reason why empathy is so important when you're interacting with another person is because it helps you put yourself in another person's shoes. And if you're doing that with another person, it helps, hang on, I think that came out wrong. It helps, you know, it helps you put yourself in another person's shoe. And if you cannot do that, if you cannot see yourself in someone else, then you are more likely to treat that person as non-human. And because humans are such social creatures, this is a very important thing because it helps us interact with people. It's the basic thing that makes us human, and it's one of the things that, you know, helps us interact with people on a level, on a scope, on a scale that is collaborative. Sorry, I rambled again. Wow, I could just go on for hours and hours, honestly, if only my voice would keep up with me. Lovely. Punisher, you got thoughts?
I have lots of thoughts, but I kind of more agree with Scribe in that everything in psychology is sort of working theory in flux, and you know, as time goes on, we'll refine and discredit and introduce new ideas, and I don't think that any of them are really universally applicable yet. But you know, you got to take them as they come on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, I will agree that psychology, being one of the softer sciences, it's actually one of the harder sciences to grasp a complete understanding of, because there are a whole bunch of working theories that counter with each other, that play into each other, that kind of, you know, assist each other in a sense, and they all interact in a way that is a little bit more complex. I mean, humans are so complex. There's so many different variables at play, and I've had this conversation with someone before, but psychology is complex because humans are complex. It's not, you know, straight and hard and, you know, scientific-y like, say, chemistry is. I mean, like, you know that if you're going to put a certain chemical with a certain chemical, you're going to get this reaction. But if you take one person and you interact with them with another person, you don't know what reaction you're going to get because there are so many different variables involved. You can't control for each individual variable. All you can do is observe, and through your knowledge of how human minds work and how maybe this one individual works, you know, maybe you can counter what it is that they're going to do, or maybe you can help enact what it is they're going to do. But it's all a matter of experimenting on the job. And I have much experience with this, not just in real life, but also in you know, scenarios where I'm doing hostage negotiations and barricaded subject negotiations, and when I'm interacting with subjects in a traffic stop, or just a regular old what's it called, pat down, because we do those. Ranting Monkey, psychology is complex because it's too easy to manipulate data to go with preconceived notions. Okay, this I will agree on in a sense, but there are a few studies out there that do have a certain amount of impact that definitely shouldn't be ignored based on the whole manipulative data aspect. The two that come to mind right now are the Stanford's prison experiment and the Milgram shock experiment. Those are the two, most popular, but also the two most I wouldn't say non-manipulated, but kind of natural, not natural. Okay, what is the word I'm looking for here? Someone help me out, please.
Methodologically solid.
Yeah, I would say that. And I there's an argument to be made about the ethics of each study, because let's be real, if you've read the studies themselves, they're a little bit interesting. in the way that they went about gathering research and getting their subjects to participate in the actions that they were required to participate in. The Stanford experiment, for instance, is just a hell of a train wreck from start to the end of the 6 days when they cut the experiment down, or when they just ended the experiment and cut it off. Just because it was actually supposed to go on for 2 weeks, but they had to end it because it was getting out of hand. That's how uncontrolled for it was. Let's see. Okay, so when I say immoral and unethical, I mean there is some debate in the psychology world about the ethics of each study and where they stand with regards to how people interacted and how they were conducted and such. For instance, with the Stanley Milgram study, or not the Stanley Milgram, the Stanford study, Zimbardo, Dr. Zimbardo, definitely should have kind of removed himself from actually participating as warden in the study. That definitely would have assisted if he had third-partied himself instead of participating along. That would have gone a long way in terms of the study and how long it would be prolonged and the validity of, say, the well, not the validity, but the ethicalness of the actual study. Because what happened in the actual study was that essentially Zimbardo not went mad with power, but he kind of allowed a few things that he probably wouldn't have if he had been in a state of mind of, well, I'm not the supreme dictator, I'm just an observer of this behavior, and I'm here to make sure that everything or nothing goes crazy, sort of thing. Dr. Zimbardo sounds like a villain. He does. That name. Actually, if you look up a picture of Dr. Zimbardo, you know what? I'll do it right here. If you look up a picture of Dr. Zimbardo, he looks like a villain too. Very interesting man. Definitely could have better conducted this study, I would say. But very interesting indeed. Let's see. See, he looks like a freaking Soviet scientist. Am I right? Am I right?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to obey.
He looks like a Bond villain. Oh boy. You're not wrong. But yeah, that's Dr. Zimbardo. Is a sin. That's also him. Please, someone tell me which actor he looks like, because I keep saying the wrong actor's
Raul
name.
Julia?
Who?
Raul Julia?
Raul Julia.
Yeah, he was Gomez Adams in the new Addams Family movies.
Raul.
He's dead now. Raoul.
I'll just go with that. Not that one.
Oh, there's Raul. Yeah, look at him as Gomez Adams, and you can see it with the mustache and the beard. A little down.
Dead face, though. Let's see. Doop.
No, there's a closer one. He certainly looks a little bit more like somebody else I've seen, I think, more recently.
Yeah, no, I feel like an older version of maybe Al Pacino? I don't know. Anyone got a clue? Rip Tom, he played Agent Z.
Not Rip Torn. Definitely not Rip Torn.
Not Rip Torn? Hang on, I'll be the judge of that. I will be the judge of that. What? What? I mean, if Zimbardo was less wrinkly, had more of a stash, maybe looked evil or less amused. Because look at
just
Zimbardo.
Two guys got dark hair and beard, and they look the same.
You're not wrong. Well, I mean, here, Zimbardo looks like he's amused, whereas Rip Torn does not look amused. Are you not amused? I'm not amused. Not at all. He's amused here, but that doesn't count. Here he is with no eyebrows. Am I freaking you out yet, viewers? I entertain myself so much.
That is a scary picture. That looks like he's wearing some sort of makeup to play Klingons in a movie.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's look at celebrities with no eyebrows. No.
Here's a rabbit hole.
We got 11 minutes yet. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at that. Look at that. Don't they look like aliens? It's Justin Bieber.
Go back to Jimmy
eyebrows.
Kimmel for a sec.
What's wrong with his face, aside from the lack of eyebrows, honestly? Truly, I'm curious.
Looks like there was a series, I think it might have been Earth Final Conflict, where aliens that came to visit the Earth, and they basically did look like Jimmy Kimmel there.
Oh boy. This is creepy. Okay, let's see who's next. Justin Bieber. Who the fuck? Oh, is that the chick with the really dark eyebrows? Because this is the original picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she looks...
Neanderthal.
Yeah. She looks weird. She looks
strange.
Really weird. Oh, that's Anne Hathaway. Oh, no. Does she not look like a freaking alien from Alien?
Yeah.
Except paler. I bet you guys didn't think that this was going to happen. Comma guy asks, why do human beings fear dead bodies, or is it just me? I don't get... I'm not afraid of cadavers. I actually probably... Oh boy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Is that Shia LaBeouf?
I have no idea. I can't tell who that actually is supposed to be.
Fuck, that's Shia LaBeouf. That's totally Shia LaBeouf. I'm fucking dying. I'm fucking dying. This is great. I'm taking a screenshot of this. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. I'm going to save that. That's going to be my profile picture for Twitter, guy. Should I make that my, should I make that my YouTube picture? So that every time I get
you should edit one of yourself. With no eyebrows or teeth.
Oh my god, can someone do that? Take a picture of me, any picture that I've ever uploaded. I don't even care if it's like one of the weird ones. Take away my eyebrows, take away my teeth. I don't give a fuck. I want that picture. I want it. It'll be fucking hilarious. Oh. Celebs with unibrows. Oh, let's see that. Oh my gosh. Celebs with unibrows. Is that how you spell unibrow?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Mmm. Delicious. I don't like Will Ferrell anyway, so this doesn't do anything for me. Is that? Who the fuck is that? Oh boy.
Wow.
This is less amusing, but still funny. Now he just looks like he's got a mustache in the wrong place on his face. Oh yeah. Steve Carell. What up, boy? It doesn't look as weird. I don't know why. Why is this?
Yeah, you barely notice it there.
Yeah, you barely notice it. It's Robert.
That's wrong, but mostly because he's supposed to be a vampire and not a werewolf.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Oh my god.
It doesn't look fucking weird. Okay, now it looks weird. Definitely weird. It looks weird on a girl. Maybe I'm just used to seeing guys with unibrows. Ew. Does she look like a gremlin to you, or is it just me?
That's just a really unflattering picture in all respects.
She looks like she's got derp face going on. Nope. Nope. Word. That's actually not that bad. Like, that's styled in a way that looks cool. Is it just me?
I think it's just you.
It's just me. Okay.
It's not
So
as
let's
bad as the straight.
without hair. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Scarlett Johansson looks good. Oh boy, Cameron Diaz. She looks like a friggin' Cohen head. Look at that.
Hmm.
Nope. Ah! No. Go away. Is that Jennifer Lawrence's Guy Fieri?
Yes.
I like it. I like it a lot. Nope. Is that Vin Diesel with hair?
Yes.
It's good to know he's got a friggin' widow's peak. We got 5 minutes left. What do you... Oh. Tom Cruise looks like a freaking skinhead without hair.
God, it is so hilarious. That's like in the movie Eurotrip when we saw Matt Damon do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It like freaked me out because, Matt Damon, I can't really imagine many people more like white bread, clean cut than Matt Damon was at the time. And he just shaved it all off and had tattoos everywhere, and he was a skinhead punk rock, and it just freaked me out. And that picture of Tom Cruise freaks me out. You know why?
What?
Because he looks like Andre Agassi.
Oh boy. Hey, let's see Bruce Willis without hair. Well, that's so weird. Oh my gosh, what a weirdo. All right. I'm going to take it off presenting again. Or take it off screen sharing again, just because we got 5 minutes left, man.
5 minutes.
As much as this was fun, and I'm sorry that a lot of other people couldn't join in. That sucks, honestly. I wish that they could have, because it would have been so much more fun.
It would have been fun.
It would have been fun. But I should totally do this again. And I know it's been a while since we stayed up till like 3 a.m. talking to each other, but honestly, I got some editing to do before I go to bed tonight. And I would love to keep the stream going, but I do have to. I got shit I gotta do, guys. I'm sorry. But remember, this is gonna be a monthly thing at the least, if not a weekly thing, or a bi-weekly thing, or no. Week-by thing?
Daily streams with Weebo.
No. Oh my god, you're asking way too much from me. I can't make that much of a commitment. Did I mention that I have a dog that I have to feed? Yeah, that's a thing.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah. Kamagai, oh my gosh. Kamagai is coming up with some really good A+ questions. Can you be in the chat anytime I'm streaming? Because you give me so much shit to talk about. What am I editing? I am editing Sunday's video that I'm uploading. It's going to be a shit show. Let me just tell you that. I'm excited. She isn't Weebo Worski. No, I'm fucking not.
Thankfully.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't like being constantly having to socialize. I don't like constantly having to socialize with people, because I get exhausted really easily. Like, I can only deal in a social setting for so long before I'm just like, I need to be alone. I need to be by myself. I cannot stand people anymore. And it's nothing against people. It's just my own, like,
they all
my
suck.
own
No, I mean,
suck. It's that I
meant your energy.
Yes, they suck out my energy. It's just like, that's a big effort for me. I'm not one of those types that can always just be with people. I need to be isolated. And, well, like, not forever, but like I can't do too much, otherwise it's just overstimulating, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Tease up the Sunday video. Hashtag Redhead Lives Matter. It's a continuation of, if you've seen my Truly Oppressed Minority video, it's a continuation of that video. This is a part 2 to that. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be a shit show. I'm not going to lie. I'm very excited. Punisher, do you have anything you want to show?
To show? No, not so much.
No, I mean, like, show. Like, you got a video that you want to show that you're coming out with anytime soon?
No, I haven't actually had any time to do anything at all with videos for a long while, because work has been working me 10 to 15 hour days, and Christmas, and it's just been a bit of a shit show. So I'm really looking forward to my vacation, getting to just drop it all and say, fuck y'all, I'm on a cruise ship.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We're gonna end the stream with the last question from Tim Gersh. Here's a question, Weebo Jones. Who do you think was the best Batman? I'm gonna have to go old school and say, because he's the original, and the original is always the best. Just like the original Robin, Dick Grayson is the best, and no one else can say. Are we talking actors? Fuck. I'm gonna have to go with Adam West then. I just had a dumb blonde moment. I know I'm Polish, but I'm not stupid, guys. Come on, give me a break. It's like midnight here. I'm dying. I can't believe I fucking said that on stream. Fuck. And with that,
I think Tim Drake is the best Robin because I like Dick Grayson better as Nightwing.
Now, fair enough. Fair enough. And with that lovely sentiment, I will leave you with that. Goodbye, my lovely ducklings, and good riddance. I'll see you when I see you on the flip side next weekend. There we go. I'm outie, bitches.
See ya.
Say bye, Punisher.